Pushed off the side of the grid from this one, and a little bit of hassle there. Nigel Saunders in the Dolomite. Perhaps he was trying to get his own back for what happened before to Chris Dew. What do you think, Paul?
I definitely think so. That was definitely a left hand down a bit there, and you're going to T-bone me all over the track, my son. We are going to get a little revenge, but I think they've all sorted themselves out now. 99 Steve Mitchell is the man who makes the break in the 2-litre Escort. Chris Dew is behind him in number 18 and making a very quick start this time. The Mini, number 34, Mike Lee from the 1300cc class. And usually the 2-litre cars get away and leave the 1300 class machines for dead, but this time Mike Lee is really trying very hard. He's got front-wheel drive, the Saab's got front-wheel drive, the Mini on the outside, and Chris Dew on the inside should have superior power down the hill, but Mike Lee, determined young man, trying very hard indeed.
Well, there is the leader, Steve Mitchell, and Mike Lee. I won't be surprised if he gets that second place. In fact, he's up there challenging for that second place. It's Steve Earle in the other Minis also in there, so this is very, very interesting because you've got the Group 1 cars all there with the Group 2 cars.
Most peculiar considering the dry track too, because you'd think perhaps the Minis might be have a little more advantage when it was wet, but on those occasions we've seen the Escorts leave them well behind. But Dave Bean having to work very hard, Chris Dew going very nicely still in the Saab. I think now they are about to close that gap again on Mike Lee, but meanwhile he's also closing the gap on the leader, so Steve Mitchell was certainly taking a second look in his mirror in a minute and thinking, is that really a Mini behind me, with considerable, about 700cc difference. And don't forget, these cars, we're not talking modified Minis here, we're talking sort of as good a spec as you had on the road and built to the best of the driver's ability, not tuning equipment. So a nice drive so far by Mike Lee. Also Steve Earle there too in 77, the green Mini, just heading Dave Bean in number 15.
Well, Dave Bean there had a moment on his previous lap, but he's now caught up. He's overtaken Chris Dew. So Dew in the Saab is back now in second place. And just look at the way that Michael Lee is now challenging Steve Mitchell for the lead. He's trying to go through on the inside. He's got the right line. He can lean on the Escort. Oh, I shouldn't say that. This is no non-contact sport, but I'd be very tempted to lean. And in fact, he hasn't managed it because Steve Mitchell has pulled back into the lead.
I tell you what, Steve Earle there in 77 is creeping up on the two of them. And this is turning into a very interesting race indeed. Good stuff here from the SPC boys. And Steve Mitchell wondering what's hit him. I think he's got a two-pronged Mini attack. He pulls away on the fast bits of the circuit, but those boys are right behind him when it comes to the twiddly bit.
Well, it's a Group 2 car in the lead, but it's the two Group 1 Minis in second and third place. There is the one that's closest, Michael Lee, and it was oh, and there goes the Yugo. The Yugo is out.
It looks as though he did make contact with some immovable object, quite possibly that bank there during the course of perambulations, but a good try anyway by Chris Lynch in the Yugo. Meanwhile, up at the pointed end into the last half lap, it's Steve Mitchell hanging on by the skin of his teeth, those two Minis snapping his heels.
And there is Steve Mitchell, number 99, who puts down the power of the Escort. Now the power begins to tell. The checkered flag is out, and Steve Mitchell, despite being chased all the way by the two little Minis there, takes victory in the second qualifier for the SPC cars. Second, a very good second for Michael Lee in the Mini, and an equally good third position there for Steve Earle, number 77. So Escort first.